tally counter, there are certain number one, you should keep the judges' names and phone numbers confidential, as well as their marking. So as a tally counter, you get to know these things. Those are very confidential things, cannot be told or shared with anyone, right? If there is a tie, then I will share the tiebreakers ballot on the WhatsApp group that we have together, and then you can add that into your tally sheet as well. So then that should break the tie. So that's basically the telecounting role. If there is a disconnection of a judge, so then that judge will be removed, then I'll let you know that this judge will be out and everything. So all of that will be coordinated to the WhatsApp group. It will be very smooth. Don't worry about that. So that's pretty much it. Any questions, Asanka?
Yeah, will it be possible for us to have a look at least the NP format of the Excel sheet that will be sharing with us?
Yeah, let me let me just screenshot it right now so that you can see it. Just give me a minute. Let me pull it up. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me just. Asanka, can you see? I just shared my screen.
Still loading.
Okay. Just confirm when you see it, yeah?
It's now visible.
Right, so let me zoom in just a bit so that you can see. So this is basically the sheet. So you will have the contestant names on the top, others names on the side, and then you would fill out the what do you call the points accordingly. So say for example, judge 1 gives person A first place, so that person gets 3 points. Person B gets second place with 2 points. Person C gets third place, so that's 1 point, right? So the second judge may say, okay, no, C is first place, so that person gets 3 points. A gets second place, so 2 points, and then B gets third place, so 1 point, right? If there's another contestant, for example, D, and judge number 3 says, okay, D is first place, so D gets 3 points, and then C is second place, so he gets 2 points. B is third place, so get 1 point. So you can see how it automatically calculates everything at the bottom. So it's very easy for you. And then, just fill out the first, second, third place here. Take a screenshot of all of this and just share on WhatsApp group. You can, use some screenshot app, or you can even take a picture, as long as it's clear and I can see, the entire grading, this entire section with the numbers and all of that. That's the important thing. So yeah, is that clear, Sankar? I'll be sharing this
yes.
format anyway.
Okay, super. Toastmaster, it's very clear.
Great. Okay. So all right. So just Asanka, I'm on the WhatsApp group with the role players. Just drop me a message with on WhatsApp so that I know your number. Yeah. And Rantaru, could I ask for a small favor? Just send me the phone numbers of what's her name? Kalpani, and also the 2 timers. Yeah. So then then I can quickly create the WhatsApp groups with them, and that's done. Okay.
Okay, I'll share the contest number to you.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Asanka. I got your message just now.
Okay. You want Kalpani and Lihiri, no?
Kalpani, Patali, and Ashoka.
Okay.
Those are the 4 people I need. Okay. All right. So then, who do we have here? Tara is here, contest master. Antaru, we are having evaluation as well, right?
Yes, evaluation as well.
Alright. So then Udara will be contest master for both.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we have Nisheda here. So let me brief Nisheda. So Nisheda, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am here.
Nisheda, I'm so sorry. Yes,
It's fine.
okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right, Nisheda. So let me quickly brief you all. So since you're here for the briefing, you will be the primary Zoom master. Okay, so it's the main Zoom master. So
Yeah.
the other Zoom master is what's his name? Lihini. Yeah. So Lihini will be the secondary. Okay. So in online, it's a very important distinction, and let me explain why. So your role will be in the main room of the contest, and your job is to basically spotlight people, help people get their video audio in check and all of those things, right? Help with the technical aspects, but especially this spotlighting aspect, because when the contest happens, right? So say for example a contestant comes, the turn for a contestant comes, the contest master, that will be Udara, which one am I?
I think it's Udara.
Udara.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant selection of names we have today. Okay, so Udara will have to first ask the contestant to please turn on a video and audio. Then we'll ask, Udara will ask Zoom master to please spotlight the contestant. And after that, Udara will ask the contestant, could you say a few words to check your audio? That's confirmed, fine. And then the contest will begin, right? The contest will begin speaking. Now, even evaluation goes a step further, because Udara will also ask, contestant, would you like the test speaker spotlighted? So remember, in evaluation contests, the evaluation is given to the speaker, no? So it will be great to see the speaker as well. So in that situation, Udara will ask, would you like to have the speaker spotlighted? If the contestant says yes, then you will have to spotlight the test speaker as well. Okay. So those are the very key part is the more constant part is spotlighting. Now, other than that, if you ever get disconnected, let us know soon through the role player group. So then, Lihini can take over.
Yeah.
Okay. And during the contest, on the day when we join, you need to make certain people co-hosts. So Lihini is one person, I am another, Rantaru, Udara, right? So those and the timers. Both timers need to be co-hosts as well, so that they have all the permissions they need as it goes. Okay. So for this and okay, so time to so right, so after that, now since you're having evaluations, that's also a key place where the Zoom master has a role. So what happens is, the contest master will do the introduction, and then the test speaker will speak. Okay, so test speaker also same thing, you spotlight the test speaker, and that person will speak for 5 to 7 minutes. That's done. And then 5 minutes silence will come. That's for contestants to make notes and finalize their notes and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
In that 5 minutes, all contestants must be spotlighted.
Okay.
So that we can see them, right? So that we know that they're not using their cell phones or doing anything that is unfair. After the 5 minutes is done, timer will announce that, and then you send, except for the first contestant, every other contestant you send to the breakout room.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, now once we send the people to the breakout room, Lihini has to go and be in the breakout room to monitor the contestants, right? So the contestants, even in the breakout room, must keep the videos on, make sure not to, keep their hands visible, not to fiddle with anything. Yeah. So basically, that's that. So then the contest will begin, and then Udara will take over, and you just have to follow suit.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. But if there are technical issues, I will be relying on you for support. And
sure.
That's basically it.
I've done the Zoom master job for an evaluation contest before, so I kind of know the land.
That's good.
What about screenshots, like for?
Yes. Yeah. It's like this. What do you mean? Okay. That's fine. This is for the club purpose, no? then
Yeah.
taking screenshots with the contestant with the certificates, that's okay.
Okay,
Right.
so am I like officially in charge of that, or is there someone
I
from the
think
club?
yeah, it's up to you guys. It can be a Zoom master, it can be, I think it'll be better if the Zoom master herself does it, but up to you. What do you
Okay.
think is best, Nisheda?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not from this club, so whatever Ranthar wants, I can do. I can take the
Ranthar,
screenshots, or if someone else wants to do that, I mean, not an issue for me anyway.
Ranthar, what do you think? Is it okay if Nisheda takes it? She can share it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay, fine. That'll be
Right.
easy actually. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. Rantaru, are we recording the
Yeah,
contest, the entire contest?
Yes, sir,
Okay,
I'm
so make sure to
so I will share it so that you don't need to repeat it. I feel.
okay. No, no, are you recording the contest on the day?
Contest one. So it's I still not plan whether it is recording or not. So should I
Okay.
do the recording or
It's like this. If you're
Yeah.
recording the entire contest, you need to get permission from the contestants to record
okay?
because you're recording their speeches.
Okay,
But if you're not recording the entire speech, the entire contest, you need to check with the contestants if any of them want their speeches recorded, right? So then you can facilitate that. But even then, if they are saying, okay, I want my speech recorded, they must give you written consent of that.
okay.
So there's a specific form called the contestant video release form, right? I briefed them at the contestant briefing session as well, so that they can inform you. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. If the contestants are okay, they need to do the recording. We'll do that. If not,
Then
we'll not record.
right. Okay. Fine. Whichever. Okay. Nishad, anything else?
No, I'm fine actually. Do you mind if I leave now? Because I kind of have to go to another meeting.
Sure. Not an issue. I
All
think
right.
we'll be okay from now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
I also get in touch with Lee and kind of talk to her and get the flow going between us.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Nishita, you have the timer screen, no? That color background and other things is with you, no?
The time. Sorry, you mean people who are timing?
Yeah, time in
I
backgrounds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not supposed to do that, but I mean, I have everything ready. I have virtual backgrounds. I have
Yeah,
everything ready. Do not worry. I can step into the two
yeah,
time
yes,
space.
please share it. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Just
I'm
a
okay.
clarification there. For the contest, let's use the PowerPoint color cards instead of the backgrounds. Okay.
Got it.
Because
Yeah.
something that I noticed is that if you use color backgrounds, if you drop off, no one sometimes notices, depending on the selection of viewing selection that they have. Right.
Right.
So, but if you have the PowerPoint shared, the moment you drop out, the PowerPoint also goes, and so there's something wrong, right?
Right.
So let's use the PowerPoint as the standard form for color cards. Okay.
Got it.
Right. By the way, someone called Chituli joined. I'm not sure who that is. It's Kalpani. Okay. Kalpani is here. Great.
Yeah, Kalpani is there, no?
Right.
So
Yes.
yes, Kalpani also tally counter, so that we already.
Yeah. I could. We have time, so we can quickly go through. Okay. So Nisha dropped off. That's fine. Okay. So Kalpani, are you here?
Yeah, she's from
Yeah,
the.
I'm here, but the thing is, I don't have a power connection today. That's
Oh,
why
okay.
I joined with the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Then no issue. Rantar, you can share the briefing to her so she can go through.
Yeah, okay. I'll share the recording with her.
Yeah. So Kalpani, just go through the recording. I briefed Asanka. So same thing will apply to you, right? So just go through that briefing and be familiar. I understand that you have
Okay,
power connection issues now. So just
yeah,
go
yeah,
through.
that's right. Yeah.
I'll be making WhatsApp group with both telecounters and myself. So if you have any questions or anything, ask on that group. Okay.
Yes, sure. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay.
All right. Okay. Ashoka, are you here? I'm not sure if this is Ashoka or Ashoka at this point.
Ashoka, yes.
Ashoka, okay. Right. Okay. Because we had Nisheda, and then various situations.
Udara.
Right. Yeah, Udara. So yeah. Okay, Ashoka. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So Ashoka, have you done timing online with the color cards, PowerPoint presentation, sharing, and all of that?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So since you are here, and the timer number 2, that is which timer number 2 is no, since Partali isn't here, what we'll do is you will be the primary timer. Okay. The main timer, right? I'll explain, and Partali will be the secondary timer. I'll explain the distinction between these two as well. Now, before I get into that, let me just clarify a few things. Remember, as the timer, you will be privileged to the contestants' timings, right? So when it comes to the timings, don't share the timings with anyone, right? So the timings of the contestant must be remain confidential. Only the timers and myself can know, right? The reason is we don't want contestants to draw comparison using the timings, or we don't want people to know who are disqualified either, right? If there was any disqualification, we don't want them to know. Now, let me explain how the timing job works, right? So basically, Ashoka, you'll be primary timer, which means you will be the person who will be sharing the screen. Okay, so the color cards, right? And you will, also keep the timing of the contestant. And the thing is, Partali will also be keeping time. So he will also, timing the contestant, writing it down and everything. Okay. And basically, Partali will come into play only if you get disconnected. So if you get disconnected, then I will pause the contest. And pause in the contest means, everything stops. The contestant stops speaking. Timing is paused, not reversed or anything, paused. Like, so if it's at 1 minute 30 seconds, it's paused. And then I help Partali take over, and then you can rejoin quietly from the background, and then contest continues, right? So remember, both timers will be filling out a timer sheet, right? The official timer sheet. I'll share that with you. And end of the contest, as in both contests, I'll get 2 timer sheets, one from you, one from Partali, right?
Yeah.
So there'll be like a few second differences, and that's completely fine. The important thing is that both of you are there, both of you are timing, and both of you send me the timer sheet at the end. So I'll be creating a WhatsApp group with the 2 timers and myself, the temporary group. And on that WhatsApp group, you can send the timer sheet. So you can either fill it out digitally, or you can print it out and write it on the printed version. That's also fine. Either one is okay with me. And you can take a picture of the printed sheet and send, whichever is fine with me. Okay. End of the day, but I need to receive it on that official timer sheet. Okay. Right. Any questions so far, Ashoka?
The printed form, you mean, is it a WhatsApp photo will be enough?
Yeah, so if you print it out and you write, then you can just take a WhatsApp picture and send. So send it on the WhatsApp group. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, okay, let me get into a few other things. Now, there are situations where contestants can get disconnected also, right? In that situation, I will have some technical issue. Basically, if you hear me utter the words, please pause the contest, or say pause the contest in any form or manner. Immediately pause your timer.
Continue from the point at which.
Yeah, immediately pause the time. So then I will help the contestant figure that situation out, understand where they stopped, and they can start from where they stopped. So in online contests, if you disconnect, you have to start from where you stopped. Timing also needs to start from where it stopped. Okay. Now in certain situations, I might decide to give the contestant 30 seconds additionally. This is where the disconnection is very severe and they have to like reconnect, change Wi-Fi, the whole thing, right? So, but don't worry about it. Basically, you will be continuing to show the color cards and everything at the same time. Only thing that changes is that the time the contestant can go up till 8 minutes without getting disqualified. normally they can go up to 7.5 minutes, for example. No? They can go up to 8 minutes. If in the evaluation, they can go up to 4 minutes. So usually it's 2, 2.5, 3, right? So then they can go up to 3:30. No? So they can go up to
time has nothing to do with that. I mean, there are time limits. So what I have to do is when the 5 minutes, at 5 minutes time, you have to display the
green card.
And 6 minutes yellow, and the 7 minutes red.
Correct.
And it is up to the contestants to, I mean, finish it with that at 8 or at 9. The red card will be displayed until he finishes the speech. Am I right?
Exactly. Yes, but remember, Ashok. Now, Ashoka, when it comes to disqualifying contestants, right?
Yeah.
Then timers play a very important role. I myself, at the
so what I have got to do then? Now, say if she exceeds,
yeah. So then, I myself, as the chief judge, can't disqualify. I must say, okay, timers, we have a situation like this where the contestant has gone overtime so many minutes or seconds. Shall we should disqualify. Then you respond as yes.
That comes later, that is in your announcement, you will do that. No? At the time he is speaking, we don't tell anything.
Nothing. Complete silence. Yeah, exactly.
We let him finish it.
Yes, correct. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So right. So after that, you will send the timer sheets at the end, and that's that. Okay. So when it comes to timing, Ashoka, I'm sure you start timing from the first word or first gesture or movement or act that is part of the speech, right? Now, smiling, of course, is not counted because it's not given in the rule book. So say they start with a smile, they can stay smiling for maybe 5 seconds, but after that start time, right? So the moment, because some people come in front of the audience and smile for like 30 seconds as part of the act of the speech, right? I've seen it happen. So so once 5 seconds go by and they're just standing there smiling, start the time no matter what. Okay, so that's just a very niche situation, but just in case that happens, be aware. Right? So then you will continue, like you said, 5, 6, 7. You will show the color cards respectively. Now, but today, now for the contest, we'll be having the evaluation as well. Just 1 second, Ashoka. Let me get the timer sheet up. Okay, so let me just share the screen. So, Ashoka, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is the basic timer sheet, as you can see. So this is what you will have to fill, whether you print it out or it's up to you. So we'll be having, humorous and evaluation. So for humorous, like you said, it's 5 minutes, 5, 6, and 7. And for evaluation, you will show the green signal at 2 minutes, remain displayed for 30 seconds, then yellow, and then the red at 3 minutes, right? And you keep it going till the contestant stops speaking. Okay, so that is the basic timing system for the day.
And say it again for the evaluation.
Sure.
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes will be green, and then 2.5 minutes will be yellow, and then 3 minutes red.
All right. Okay. And now after displaying the red card, now do we need to allow now before the other contest starts?
Yes.
Certain time for the judges to
correct
note down. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That is
so
1
basic,
minute?
Yes, 1 minute. So basically, you will have to follow Udara's, guide on that. So basically, after each contestant, the contest master will ask, "Can we have 1 minute silence for judge to mark the ballots?" You will time 1 minute, and once 1 minute is up, just turn on your mic and say 1 minute has elapsed, right? So then we'll continue. But after the last contestant has finished speaking, it will be 3 minutes of
3
silence.
minutes, yeah.
Okay. Now, in the evaluation contest, Ashoka, there's another extra thing. After the test speaker has spoken, so for the test speaker, also you have to show color cards. Okay, so that also will be 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. So after the test speaker is done speaking, the contest master will ask the Zoom master, "Can you please spotlight all of the evaluation contestants?" And once that is done, the contest master will then ask, "Timer, please start timing 5 minutes." So that's the 5 minutes for the contestant to finalize their notes, right? So once 5 minutes is done, again, turn on your mic and let us know 5 minutes has elapsed, right? So that's the additional thing that comes in for evaluations. Yeah. So that's that for the break times. Any questions there, Ashoka?
What is the last, this 5 minutes for, can you say it again now? For
Sure,
the
of course.
evaluation, 2:30 and 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's the time for the speech, right? Now, in evaluation, there's a test.
Evaluation, that is for the evaluation.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Now, for evaluation, we have a test speaker, no, Ashoka? Like a test speaker that will come and speak, and that's the person that the contestant evaluate, no?
Yeah.
So for that test speaker, you show the color cards also at 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Okay,
Right.
just as a normal speech. After the test speaker is done speaking, the contest master will ask for 5 minutes of silence. That 5 minutes is for the contestant, the evaluation contestants, to make and finalize their notes. Okay. So for that also, just like you do for the 1 minute silence and 3 minute silence, you will time 5 minutes and just turn on your mic and say the 5 minutes have now elapsed. That's it. Okay.
Oh.
Did I clarify that, or should I?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, fine. So that's basically.
So there will be one test speaker, no?
One test speaker,
That's
exactly.
one.
Yeah. So the process will be the test speaker speaks, then the 5 minute silence. Then the contestants, except for the first contestant, will be sent to a breakout room, and then the first contestant will be called to start the evaluation. Then after the second evaluator, third, and so on. Okay. Is that okay, Ashoka?
Yeah.
Fine. Any questions? Anything that I missed or anything that I should clear up? Okay, I think there isn't. So, okay, so that's basically it. So I create the WhatsApp group as well, and we'll communicate through that. If you ever have a disconnection or any issue, Ashoka, quickly notify me through the WhatsApp group. Okay, so then I can take over and manage the situation. Okay. Right. If there's nothing else, Rantaru, shall we go into Udara's briefing?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Udara, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. No, don't call me sir now. Please don't call me sir. Okay. Do you have the scripts with you? Have you gone through them?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So basically, Udara, now for the humorous speech contest, you have to go through the script, the introduction part, and then you get into the actual contest part of it, right? So in that, you will call upon the first speaker. So like I said, you ask them to turn on their video and audio, followed by, telling them to speak a few words, and then also ask the Zoom master to spotlight. Okay. Then the contestant, you have to, sorry. Okay, so after that you will introduce the contestant, name, topic, name. For example, if you're a contestant, I will say contestant number 1, Udara, myself, contestant number 1, Udara. Okay, so like that you will introduce them, and then they will start speaking. They will do the speech, and after they end, you will have to ask for 1 minute of silence. Okay, so you will ask timer, can we have 1 minute of silence? Then once the 1 minute of silence is done, the timer will turn on the mic and say, contest master, the time 1 minute of silence has elapsed, okay, or has ended, or something like that. And after that, you proceed to the second speaker. Same process, video, audio on, Zoom master spotlight, say a few words, check the audio, and then you introduce and they start. So that process will go on. And after the last speaker has spoken, you will ask for 3 minutes of silence. Okay. And yeah, so 3 minutes of silence you will ask, and then once the 3 minutes is done, the timer will tell, okay, 3 minutes has elapsed. After that, now we'll have the humorous contest first, and then we move on to the evaluations, right? So then there will be no break. You just continue on to the evaluation. Okay. Right. So in the evaluation contest, Udara, things change a bit. Okay. Basically, after going through the introduction part of the script, you will get into where you call upon the test speaker to speak. Right. So like before you start the evaluation contest, I will send you the test speaker's name and topic. Okay. Until that moment, you will not have it. So only right before you begin, you will get it. Okay. So leave a bit of room in your script for
I should wait until you send it to me, right?
Correct. Yeah. Wait for me. Wait for me to send it to you, and then you can add it to your script and you can start the evaluation contest. Okay. So once you do the introduction part, you will go into the what you call the test speaker speech. You will introduce same way. So name, topic, name, right? So for example, Postmaster Udara, the topic, Postmaster Udara, right? So like that you introduce, and then they will do the speech. After that comes the 5 minutes of silence, right? But before 5 minutes of silence, you have to tell all the contestants to turn on their videos, and then the Zoom master will spotlight those contestants. Okay. So that will be like that for the entire 5 minutes. So after the spotlighting is done, you will say, we will now have 5 minutes for the contestants to finalize their notes, or we'll have 5 minutes of silence, either one. And then the 5 minutes will go on, and the contestant will be spotlighted for that entire time. And after the 5 minutes is done, the timer will tell, okay, 5 minutes has elapsed. And then we'll go into the main contest. In the main contest, you will ask, can the Zoom master please send all the contestants except for the first contestant to the breakout room? Okay, so the first contestant will remain in the main room. Other contestants will go to the breakout room. Okay, and with those contestants, the second Zoom master, that is, I believe, Lihini, will go as well. And once those people are settled and ready, I will tell you, okay, Udara, go ahead. And then you will call the first contestant. So same process, right? So you ask video, audio on, spotlight, say a few words, ask them if they're ready, and then they can start. So you will introduce them by name only. So you will say, for example, if you are the contestant, contestant number 1, Toastmaster Udara, contestant number 1, Toastmaster Udara, and then start. Okay. So then the contestant will give the evaluation. You ask for 1 minute of silence. Same thing with the second, third, fourth, and after the final evaluator is done, you will ask for 3 minutes of silence. Okay. So is that clear, Udara? Did I give you a good picture of how it works?
Sorry?
Did I give you a picture of how it works? Do you have an understanding, or do you have any questions? Anything I want to clarify?
If you have a picture, yeah, please share with me.
No. Were you able to visualize it? Did you understand what I said?
I thought it's a short note, like
No,
pointed.
No. I mean, did you understand? Like, did
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
Okay.
But
Fine.
the tin is in the. Oh, but wait 1 second.
Sure.
In the when the contest chairman over to me, then I will start that, ladies and gentlemen, like the introduction part. After that, there's the 3 points. Like, should I repeat them also in the script, and the timing
could you share the screen and show me, Udara? Like, I don't think I know what I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, wait. Can you see my screen right now? I should start from here.
Yeah, yes.
So I should keep continuing till here. After that, should I continue this?
Hang on, Udara, you need to remove this sentence. Go up. Yeah. So it says, please note that this contest is being recorded. So since I think the contest won't be recorded, you won't need to say that. So yeah. Udara, okay, so show me what are those things? Yeah, these things you need to say. So to provide opportunity to, yeah, those 3 things you need to mention.
All right.
Timing, all of these things. Yeah.
I should repeat all the things, right?
Yeah, correct. So this is like a general briefing to, this is what I call the introduction part of the script. So you go through the workings of a contest so that everyone is on the same page, right? Udar, if it's possible, are you free tomorrow morning? We could have a quick call tomorrow morning just to go through your scripts. Is that okay?
Around, I'm busy around 9 to 10.
Yeah, after 10 I'm fine. That's fine with me. Even afternoon is okay.
11:30?
Sure, 11:30 is fine.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So 11:30 we'll go through these scripts. But for now, just know the process of the contest. Okay.
All right.
All right. Fine. Okay. So I think we briefed everyone briefable. So Rantaru, you're the only one left. So basically, Rantaru, you are the key organizer of the contest. So when the contest starts, welcome everyone. Just maybe lay the ground rules a bit. Don't turn on your mics and all of that, and then hand it over to the contest masters. Like I mentioned to you, the whole idea of you being free during the contest is that if any technical issues happen, you are there to support in the background. Okay. Yeah. So basically, that coordination aspect is what I need from you, right? And when it comes to protests of any kind, regarding originality or timing or results, only you and me can receive those protests. Those protests can't be made to anyone else, right? So just be aware of that, and that's pretty much it. So the rest of the thing you heard now, how the contest runs. So yeah. Is that okay, Ranta?
Yeah, I understood. This that we have to the contestant should fill that forms, that 2 forms that should be sent to you or to me.
They should be sent to you first, and then you will forward me the eligibility forms. So I need to, because I need to check if all of these particular contestants have sent those in and they've signed it properly, right?
Okay.
So I need to verify that they have given consent and shown, that they've signed up for the contest properly. So yeah.
Okay. Forms.
Okay.
CJ.
Yes.
Shall I just share the color card that I have prepared just
sure,
to test?
Please.
Right now.
Yeah, sure. Let me make you host. Okay. Okay. Now you can share.
Right. Great.
This is for that 60 second.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good. And then you have the 3 minutes as well.
Yeah, the 5 minutes one I don't have it.
Yeah, that we can add.
Yeah, that I can announce.
This is good. So just one change, if I can recommend, the white color card, make it black. Okay.
The first one, this one.
Yes, this one. Okay. And put the Toastmasters logo on it. Okay, because the reason being, something that I noticed is if you have a white color card as the starting one, it's quite bright, right? And it tends to distract the contestants sometimes. So it will be better if we can, make it black and have the logo on it. We put the logo on it so that people know there's something being shared. Okay. So if you can do that, that will be great. You can download the logo from the website. No issue.
Okay.
Yeah. This is fine. So just share this with your fellow timer as well. That's I think partly. Yeah, partly. Just share it with partly as well. It's important that both of you have the same presentation. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This is fine. This is fine. I really like the touch with the timings. That's a good touch. Okay. Anything else?
Tonight I'll share the script of both me and my contest master. You just check on that. And I have another thing. So now I'll hand over the session to contest master. She's doing the humorous speech, then the evaluation speech, right? After that, there's a 5 minutes time to do the further to get the other that this tally count and other things. No? We have 5 minutes.
I'm not following what you're referring to, Rantar. What are you talking about? In the actual contest, you mean?
No. So that after completion of this speech, this humorous speech contest and the other speech evaluations. So how we go for this awarding means that awarding also.
Right. Okay. So what happens is Rantaru. So basically, both contests will happen. No break in between. We just flow from contest to contest.
Yeah.
And after that, you go to the contestant interviews where you interview the contestants. Yeah. Okay. So that will happen. No time limit on that. You can follow through on that, but don't take too long either. Right? Maybe allocate 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes per contestant, and you do that. In the meantime, I'll get the results ready, and I will send it to you. Then you can announce it. Okay? Or contest master. Up to you.
So yes, a contestant interview will be done by contest master or contest chair. It's dependent.
Either way is fine. There's no hard and fast rule, but it's much smoother if the contest master does it, because
contest master. Right.
So for example, in this situation, you can make contest master do the interviews. Contest chair can do the announcing of the results. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll send you the what you call the results through WhatsApp, Rantaru. Okay, it will be in a form for the results form. Okay, I'll show it right now. Just
this certificate to be done by the Zoom master. Share the.
It's like this, Rantaru. Like if you can prepare the certificates, that's great. What you can do is get the presentation ready, and maybe ask the Zoom master to have it with her, or you yourself can do it, or the person presenting they can do it. There is no hard and fast rule for this. Okay. Do what is easy. If you want to have certificates, great. Do it in the easiest way possible. Okay. Guys, there won't be any major effect to the contest as long as the correct results are read out. That's the main thing. Yeah, let me show you the results form. So I'll be sharing this results form. So for each contest, I'll send you a separate form like this. The first thing you should notice this thing, time disqualification, yes, no. So if there are time disqualifications, I will say yes. And then when you announce the results, before you say who's first, second, third, you have to say there were time disqualifications. Okay. If it's no, you can say I'm happy to announce that there are no time disqualifications.
Okay. Okay.
Then you go into the winner. So please notice that it's third, second, first. The order is given in that way. So it's kind of like a script. You just have to take this entire section and add it into your script of announcing the results. That's it. Because I'll send you a copy of this filled out for each contest as the results. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. Again, if you want to do the certificates and all, it's completely up to you. So if you are doing certificates, you can quickly enter it into the certificates, fill out the text boxes, done. Or if you're having someone else do it, you can forward the document I sent to that person, they can fill it out. But the thing is, you need to make sure that the certificates have the right, results, which takes a bit of time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I think we are 1 minute away from the contestant briefing. Anything else, Fantara?
No, actually, I'll let you know if there is any things. I'll let you know.
So tomorrow at what time are we going to have that call with Udara? Udara,
what about 11:30?
Yes, 11.
Are you
tomorrow,
free at that time?
11:30 is fine with me, Udara. So tomorrow 11:30. Let me just put it on my calendar. Okay, so tomorrow 11:30 we'll have a call. So Rantor, you also join for that.
Okay,
and then we can go through your script also. So yeah, if you'd like, I mean, up to you.
No, I'll manage it. I'll also join, and we will have another session in the evening. Will you join or we'll continue?
What time in the evening?
7 to 7 onwards.
I think I should be able to make it. So I'll be there.
Okay, that's great. That tomorrow 7 we'll do a demo session, like complete script we'll run.
Fine, okay. That's good. That's with all the role players and everything, no?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, so let's wait until all the contestants join. Could you drop a message maybe so that
then our role players shall leave the session now. They can be with us.
Either one, which I don't mind whichever. They can leave, or if they can stay, they can have understanding from the contestants side as well. So up to you. Will we be drawing the contestant order today or on the day?
Shall we do? I think today only Bindul and Virgin is joined now.
Okay.
Shall we take a half an hour and check whether the availability of the all?
Sure. Of course.
Then we'll do the referral. No? Then we'll do the referral.
That's fine. But are all the contestants joining today for the brief? That's my other question. Or will you share the recording with people who don't come?
Anyway, we will do the recording. So whenever possible, then we'll share with them.
Right. Fine.
Yeah, that's all. No?
Sure. So can we just quickly have the briefing? Just drop a message on the contestant group, and we'll get everyone to join and start off.
Rantaru, do we have everyone? No.
One person is waiting, Buddhika. He will join within 1 minute time. Shall we wait till he joins?
Sure. Let's wait. Okay, that's fine.
If all the contestants are joined, can we be able to get the numbers, random numbers for the number arrangement?
Sorry, Rantaru, what did you say?
If all the contestants are joined today, will we be able to get the numbering order?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, then
but I think so. We are having a morning contest, no, Rantaru. So
yeah.
I think best if you can do the video audio check on the day, because doing the video check today is no point because it's already dark, right? So on the day, so you're having the contest at 9 o'clock now.
I mean not video. I mean not the videos, but the numbering the speeches.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do it now. That's fine. I'm just saying, on the day we'll do the video audio check. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now all the contestants joined.
Great. Okay. Can I have the contestant turn on the videos so that I can see our contestants? Right. Hi, Vindula. Welcome.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Rochelle. Hello.
Hi, Vinod.
Buddhika, Virginie. Hi, Sulochana. Welcome. We can't hear you, Sulochana. Just letting you know. Hi, Virginie. Welcome.
I still have this background.
Okay. No issue. Represent your club at the briefing itself. That's completely fine. Sanoj, can we see you as well?
Actually, like I'm still working, not at.
Okay.
That's why.
No worries. Is this Sanoj that I know from
RRD?
Sorry?
From RRD Toastmasters, is it?
You were in the division council all that time ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
right. Hi, Sanoj. Nice to see you again. All right, and then we have Buddhika as well. Buddhika, are you here? Okay, Buddhika dropped off. Okay, so Roshana, could you just say a few words just to check your mic?
Am I audible now?
Yeah, now you're audible. Perfect.
All right.
Rantaru, just could you check on Buddhika?
I'll check.
Okay, so before we begin the briefing, until Buddhika joins, do you have any questions? Anything that you have as concerns so that I can address it as I go along the briefing? Yeah, if you have any questions.
I have a small question.
Sure. Go ahead.
This is my first contest, so that's why I came up with this question. So I am taking part in the evaluation contest.
Right.
So which speech are we or am I going to evaluate?
Good question. I will touch on that in the briefing as well. Great. Any other questions? Okay. Buddhika, are you here? Can you hear us? Okay, I think Buddhika has some. Okay, Buddhika, can you hear me? I think Buddhika is having a technical issue with the signal, but okay. Let me. Rantaru, shall I go ahead with the briefing? Maybe you can share the recording with with Buddhika?
Please go ahead, Toastmaster. Yes.
Sure. Right. Okay. Let's begin. So, hello contestants, welcome, and I will be the chief judge for the contest. My name is Dinuk, and so I'm here to really make sure we have a smooth contest that follows the rules of the Toastmasters International, but also to be a support to all of you. Right? We are doing an online contest, which is not normal at all. But remember, we are all here to support each other. So if you have any questions, any concerns at any time, please don't hesitate to ask. Right? Okay, so let me begin with the the briefing. So today, now on the day of the contest, you'll be taking part. Some of you will be taking part in 2 contests. That's humorous and evaluation. Some of you will be taking part in humorous only, I believe. So I think Virginie, you won't be taking part in evaluation, right?
No.
Right. Okay. Fine. Great. Okay, so let me begin with a general briefing, right? So the general rules, and then I'll go into specific things for each contest, right? So starting off, remember contestants, now Toastmasters gives certain rules and regulations when it comes to doing your speeches, right? So first of all, remember there are 3 criteria under which you can be disqualified. 1 is originality, 2 is the reference rule. I'll explain what that is. And 3 is your timing. Okay, so these are 3 ways that you can be disqualified. But remember, don't be afraid of this. Just use them as guidelines to designing your speech. Okay, even evaluations, use it to design your speech so that you will understand, the idea of it. Okay, the first rule is originality. So when it comes to speeches, Toastmasters wants the contestants to come up with new and innovative speeches, right? So now you can refer to other sources. You can quote, you can take lyrics from a song, you can take another story and use it in your speech, completely fine. But it's important to remember that there's a limit to that. There's a 25% of your speech is the maximum you can, copy, quote, take from other source or anything like that. And regardless of how much you quote, copy, take, you have to give credit all the time. Right? So for example, if you start with a quote, you need to tell who said that or who wrote that or which book has that. Right? If you start with a song, you need to show that, okay, this song was done by this person. Now, if you, of course, compose a song, that is completely fine. But if you're taking from someone else, then you need to give due credit. Now, what about if it's a commonly known story or a commonly known song, right? For example, we have these folk songs, right? This very, we don't know who the author is. Then you need to somehow show through your language that, look, this is not something that I made, right? For example, if you were to relate the story of Humpty Dumpty in your speech, right? You need to say, as we all know how the story goes, or as the common fairy tale goes, right? Just show that, this is not mine. This is something that I'm taking from some other source, right? So when it comes to originality, these are the 2 rules. Don't have copied, quoted material that is more than 25% of your speech. And number 2, regardless of how much you quote or copy, give proper reference. Okay, that is it. Now, the third thing, reference rule. So this is about controlling impressions, right? So the reference rule basically says that, you can't refer to another contestant's speech. So for example, Virginie can't refer to Sulakshana's speech content, right? Regardless if Virginie is going before or after Sulakshana, right? No, for some way or another, you can know the other person's content. No. Don't refer to their speech. You can refer to them as individuals, their names, but don't refer to them, giving a speech in this way or this topic or nothing like that. Right. So, for example, if Rochelle were to say, "My good friend Vindula did this, that, and the other," that's completely fine as long as that this, that, and the other is not a speech that he's giving on the day. Okay. So, like that, that is the reference. So, the idea is behind the rule is that another contestant can't control the impression of another contestant's speech, right? Impressions are everything in a contest, right? The judges will give impression about your speech. So another contestant shouldn't be able to control that. So that is the second rule. Third rule is timing. Now, timing varies from the two contests. So if you're doing humorous, remember you will be shown the green card at 5 minutes, the red card, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes, right? And you will start your, the timer will start timing your speech from the first word, movement, gesture that you do that contributes to your speech. Okay. Now, what about smiling? Now you can, now as some of you must know, you're told, when you start a speech, smile and start, right? So now smiling won't be counted, but I have had this incident where, as part of the speech, a contestant will smile for like 30 seconds. So because of that, if you smile, you can smile for maybe 5 seconds. After that, you start timing. Okay, this has actually happened. I mean, even situations where maybe the contestant is nervous or got stuck, right? So then we have to be fair to the other contestants and we'll start timing. Okay, so just know that that's how we will start timing. And in the humorous contest, you can go up to 7.5 minutes. So the red card comes at comes up at 7 minutes. You can go up till 7.5 minutes. Okay. Now there is one exception to that. If any of you face a very serious disconnection or a technical issue, right? That makes you maybe, okay, say that you get disconnected, you have to change your Wi-Fi, you have to join again, you have to turn on your video, do all that and then start. Then I as a chief judge can give you 30 seconds extra. Now what this means is the color card will be shown at 5, 6, 7, just as it is, but you can go up to 8 minutes, right? So just, that's the only shift, okay? Now in evaluations, remember, the color cards will be shown at 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and then 3 minutes, green, yellow, red accordingly, okay? And if I decide to give you 30 seconds, that means you can go up to 4 minutes, okay? So red card comes up at 3 minutes, no? You can go up to 3.5 minutes. And if I give you 30 seconds, you can go up to 4 minutes, okay? Now I'll touch on disconnections a bit later, but let me just cover the general stuff first. So now in humorous, there are a few specific things that you have to know, contestants. So I recommend all of you as a good practice being contestants, download the criteria that judges will be using to judge your speech. You can do it, it's completely free. You can download it from the internet for both contests. Then you have an idea about what judges are looking at, right? But just for all of you to know, for humorous, make sure that your speech isn't like a series of one-liner jokes, right? There must be a narrative. There must be a central story that runs through it. You don't have to have a message. Message is not a must in humorous speeches, but if you do have it, you will be marked up, right? So you having a speech incorporating a message is a great thing. So we will mark up, but if you have a series of one-liners or very disconnected, jokes, then judges might mark you down. Okay. Now evaluations, remember that you should connect to the test speaker, right? Now, if the test speaker's speech has an analogy about nature and life, say that nature has life cycles and even humans have life cycles. If that's the analogy that they are going on in your evaluation, you must connect to that. You can't go and start talking about the stars and the moon, right? When that person's talked about trees and environment, so there must be a connect, right? So judges can mark you down if you don't have that connect, okay? And also very important, remember, you should have a summation in your evaluation, right? Now, if you look at the actual judges ballot, the marking scheme for your evaluation, there is separate points given for you for your summation, okay? And you should show that, look, I'm summing up. For example, now you do your evaluation, you give the positive points, the recommendations, and then you will go into the summation. You should say that, in summary, in conclusion, let me wrap up. In a nutshell, this is what I said, right? So like that, say some phrase that shows that, okay, this is my summary. Okay, so make sure to have that. And okay, one other thing. In Toastmasters, we have said to avoid speaking on topics of sex, politics, and religion. Now, the keyword being avoid means you can speak on it. But if you're doing that, if you're doing a topic, if you're doing a speech that is based on those three things, or something that is very charged, socially charged, be respectful, be well researched, make sure to do a proper job of speaking on the topic. Okay, because that's what we do. Even the judges will be briefing them. Look, you can speak. The contestant can speak on these three topics, but they have to be very respectful, and the judges will be using their own understanding to judge that. Right. So be very careful. But that said, humorous speeches, make sure not to be vulgar. Okay. So vulgar jokes and stuff, we will mark down. That has happened in such proportions I can't even imagine. So make sure to not get into like vulgar jokes or anything like that, double meanings and those sort of things. The judges will mark you down for appropriateness, right? There's an actual category called appropriateness. So you will be marked down. So not only the jokes, like even the body movements, gestures, be very careful on that ground. Okay. So that is basically the very specific things. Now let me get into how the contest will go. Okay, so humorous speeches. The contest master Udara will read out the introductory part. Go through the rules, the timings, and all of that. And after that, they will read out the order of the contestants, and then they will go into speech contest. Now in the humorous speech contest, Udara will first ask the first contestant number 1, please turn on a video and audio. After that, once you do that, once the contestant does that, the contest master Udara will ask, Zoom master, please spotlight the contestant. Okay. Then the contest master will ask, contestant, can you speak a few words to check your audio? So you'll say a few words. Hello. Don't say anything from your speech, just say a few words. And after that, we'll also check if you can see the color cards. You confirm that. And then we'll ask you, are you ready to start your speech? Then you can start. So all of these checks are there for you to have a smooth speech, and you will have a very good opportunity to speak and do your speech. Okay. Now, after you speak, there will be 1 minute of silence. Now, during the 1 minute of silence, that means silence. No one can speak. That's the time when judges will mark the ballots. After the 1 minute of silence is done, the next contestant will come and do the same process. After the last speaker has spoken, there will be 3 minutes of silence. Udara will ask for that. And then the judges will mark their ballots, send it to the telecounters. The finalizing will happen. Done. Now, in evaluation, it's very similar, but it changes a bit. Now, this is where I answer your question, Sulochana. Okay. So what happens is, contest master will read the introductory part of the script. Then the contest master will ask the test speaker to come and speak. So that day, Sulochana, there will be a test speaker, a speaker from outside the club who will come and give a speech. You will not know who the speaker is or the topic is until that very moment. Okay, even the contest master will get to know who the speaker's name and topic only right before the evaluation contest begins. Okay, and then the test speaker will give a speech 5 to 7 minutes. It will be a very standard speech. I told the the test speaker not to speak on sex, politics, and religion, so don't worry about that. And they will do the speech 5 to 7 minutes. Done. Okay. After that, the contest master will ask all of the contestants to be spotlighted. Okay. And then the contestant master, after that's done, the contestant master will ask the timer to count 5 minutes. Okay. Now, in that 5 minutes, you will finalize your notes. So while the test speaker is doing the speech, you can take notes. That's fine. But remember, at all times, keep your video on. We need to see you. Okay, because You can't use phones, smartwatches, any sort of technology to get an advantage, right? So you during the test speaker speech and the 5 minutes, you will keep your videos on where we can see you. And in the 5 minutes, you will be spotlighted. So you will be in the screen and we'll see you. Okay. So in the 5 minutes, you can finalize your notes and everything on your sheet, right? So you can use a half sheet, A4 sheet, that's completely fine, but it has to be completely clean. You know, when you start when the test speaker speech, it should be completely empty. Right. So the 5 minutes will end. Say, can all of the contestants, except for the first contestant, be moved to a breakout room? Okay. So the first contestant will remain in the main room. Other 4 will go to the breakout room. Okay. I think we have how many evaluation? Yeah, we have 4. So okay, the first contestant will say, and other 3 will go to the breakout room. Right. So the idea is that, you know, the latter contestants can't be influenced by the first evaluator. So for example, say Rochelle is the first speaker, right? If all of the contestants are in the room, they will listen to the points that Rochelle says and copy them or update your own evaluation. So that's why we move you to a breakout room. Okay. And in the breakout room, there will be a Zoom master there as well. Make sure to keep your videos on. Don't look at your notes. You can look at your notes again only when you speak. So keep them face down, hands visible, and just, you know, stay visible. Okay. Right. So then, you know, the first contestant will be done the check, same as humorous. Only thing that's additional is contest master will ask, contestant, would you like the test speaker to be spotlighted? Okay. So remember, as evaluation contestants, you are giving an evaluation to the test speaker, not the audience. So if you would like, we can spotlight the test speaker for you. So you can have a direct, you know, connection visually with that test speaker, right? So it's up to you. We will ask, would you like to spotlight the test speaker? If you say yes, we spotlight, and then you can start your evaluation. So what we will do is, how we will introduce you is, for example, if Vindula is contestant number 1, we will say contestant number 1, Vindula, contestant number 1, and then you will start your evaluation, right? For humorous, it's different. Humorous, it's name, topic, name. So for example, if it's Virginie, so contestant number 1, Virginie, speech topic, contestant number 1, Virginie, and you will start. Okay. So in evaluation also, after each speaker there's 1 minute of silence, right? So 1 minute of silence is done. So for example, contestant number 1 speaks, 1 minute of silence. Then the second contestant is brought into the room, right? Same process continues. All that happens until the final contestant, then 3 minutes silence. Okay. So that is how it will go throughout the speech, throughout the contests. Okay. Now, nothing is always perfect. There can be disconnections, especially online. Right. How do we handle disconnection? So there are 3 types of disconnections that can happen and have a substantial effect on the contest. Number 1, the contestant gets disconnected. Number 2, timer gets disconnected. Number 3, judge gets disconnected. Okay. If you, a contestant, get disconnected or have a technical issue like your video gets stuck or anything like that, don't worry. The moment that happens, I will turn on my mic and say, pause the contest. Pause the contest. Those words mean that everything freezes, right? So as a contestant, you have to stop where your speech is, right? So for example, if you're in a particular sentence, remember where that is and stop. Timer will also pause the time. So if you are, say, 2 minutes 50 seconds, I will pause the time there. Okay. And then I will help you figure out the technical issue along with the Zoom master. And then you can start the speech from where you stopped. Okay. Now, then when you start from where you stopped, timing is also start from where you stopped. Okay. And then speech goes on. Now, here's the thing. we can't force you to start from where you stopped. Okay. If you want, you can start from from the beginning itself. But know that the timing won't start from the beginning. It will start from where it stopped. Okay, so it's up to you, your decision completely, and do accordingly. But that risk is there. Okay. Now if a timer disconnects, so we have two timers. One is a primary timer who will be sharing the color cards. If that timer disconnects, same situation, I'll pause the contest. Contestant also must stop speaking, and we'll quickly get the second timer to start sharing the screen and continue the contest, right? And don't worry, contestants, if I pause the contest, I will help you identify where you stopped and then help you continue. Okay, so don't worry about that. So this is how it will work in terms of disconnections. And finally, a judge disconnecting. Now that's not a major concern for you, but just for you to know, if a judge disconnects in the middle of a speech, then that judge will be removed from the panel. If they disconnect in the middle of 1 minute silence or where a speech is not happening, I'll pause the contest, help the judge get back on the contest, and then we'll continue. Okay, so this is how we handle disconnections, right? So yeah, any questions so far? Anything that you'd like me to clarify?
Dinuk, I think you already mentioned it, but just to ask you again, while the test speaker is speaking, we could make notes, right?
Yeah, please go ahead. It's up to you.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, I can't even tell if you're making notes or not, right? So it's really up to you.
Yeah.
I would always recommend pay attention, but it's up to you. It's completely up to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Sulakshmi. Go ahead.
Dinuk, now say for the humorous speech, you said the connectivity issues, the time pauses. So when it comes to evaluation, say if the test speaker also has any disconnect, like connectivity issues, does the same happen? So do we have to stop writing down notes at that time, or how? It's the same?
Precisely, yeah. So if a test speaker disconnects or has a technical issue, even then I'll pause the contest, help that test speaker get back online, timing will start from where it stopped. You also have to stop and, take it from there. Now, here's the thing. In your evaluation, do you comment on that disconnection or technical issue? It's up to you, right? To be honest, I've been waiting for this moment where like a test speaker disconnects to see how evaluation contestants will incorporate it into the evaluation. It's completely up to you. Whether you want to comment how they continued or how they face a technical issue, it's completely up to you. Okay, or whether you want to completely ignore it, right? But if you how you handle it, if you address that technical issue that faced by the test speaker, how you address it, judges will take that into consideration. How empathetic you are, how well you motivate the person, right? So that will be taken into consideration. But yeah, if the test speaker disconnects, same thing will happen. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay. So one more thing. Protests. Now remember, in a contest, there can be particular protests that are being made. For instance, protests regarding time. So for example, say a contestant goes above time, but that contestant is announced as one of the winners. Then there's a issue, no, right? So any protest regarding time can be made only by the timers. Any protest regarding incorrect results can be made only by timers, tally counters, and the chief judge. Okay. Any protest regarding originality can be made only by the judges, the chief judge, or the contestants. Right. So, for example, if Rochelle notices originality issue where, for example, Vindula in his speech, copied from somewhere, didn't give reference, then Rochelle can make a protest. But remember, protest can be made only to me or the contest chair, Rantaru, and make it privately. Don't turn on your audio and video and start a protest in the contest room itself. Just drop a text to me or call me or Antaru and just say that, we noticed this, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Also a reference. Now, say for example, Rochelle felt that Sulochana referred to Virginie's speech in some way or another. Then Rochelle can make a protest to me or Rantaru. And Virginie herself can make a protest also, because at the end of the day, her speech that was referred to. No? So you can make a protest regarding that same way, make it to me or Rantaru. Okay. Now, once the protest is made, I as a chief judge will consult the respective people and make sure we follow that through. For example, if it's timing, I'll consult the timers. If it's an issue with incorrect results, I'll consult the tally counters. If there's a protest regarding originality or reference, I'll consult the judges and get their opinion, and then we'll finalize should we disqualify this person or not. Okay. But remember, regardless of whichever disqualification is done, the only disqualification that we'll publicly announce is the timing disqualifications, right? And even that, we won't tell who got disqualified. We will say there were timing disqualifications. That's it. We won't say who. Okay. So know that, the timings of your speeches are confidential. Timers can't tell you those timings. You can, of course, ask someone else in the audience to time you. That's up to you. But that will not be considered as a valid time. Official, it's not official time, right? So you can't make a protest based on that, right? Now remember, audience can't make protests either. None of them can. Okay, so only these particular people who have the right to make protests of a particular type can make them. And also, all protests will be entertained only before the results are announced. So after the results are announced and hip hip hooray and all of that is done, that's the end of it. Okay, no, like, so example, if someone notices that Rochelle has copied from another speech and not given a reference, after the results are read, like, we can't do anything about it, right? It's up to the next level to handle that, area level to handle that. Okay, so that must be mentioned. Okay. So yeah, that's about protests, and it's important to know them, because sometimes we have contests where audience stage issues. So just want to let you know about that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I think I covered most of the things. I'm not sure if I missed anything, but any questions, contestants? Any questions, any concerns, anything that you want me to clarify?
Dinuk is you said the marking criteria we can get it downloaded for evaluation also. We will have it somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, you can just go on Google, type Toastmasters evaluation contest judges ballot, right? Okay. And then it should be there. First link. It's a PDF. So you can download that, check it out.
Thank you.
Right. Any other questions?
What if our like in the evaluation contest, what if our connection goes when the test speech is going on?
That's a good question. So then if now, okay, that's a great question, Sanuj. So if any of you at any point, right, face a disconnection, drop a message on the contestant group, right? Regardless of whether you're speaking or not, whether you're in the breakout room or not, whichever the case, drop a message or give a call or do something to notify me or Antaru, especially me, because the moment that happens, we can take action, right? And we can pause the contest, do the needful and manage it. Now, Sanoj asked a great question. What happens if a contestant drops off during the test speech? Great question. So Sanoj, say that you disconnect, drop a message on the WhatsApp group. I'll quickly pause the contest, right? And then once we get you back on, we will check where you last heard, and I'll ask the what do you call, the test speaker to just continue from there, and we'll take the speech from that point onwards. So like that, we can we have a bit of leeway to improvise, right, and manage. As long as we know things on time, we can do something, right? Remember, the rules are not written for this online situation. So what I'm doing is sort of practice and working with a lot of other judges and chief judges and understanding how to best handle these situations. So I hope I answered the questions, Anuj.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay. Any other questions? So I'll give you guys a few minutes to ask any question, but until then, let me just check one more thing that I wanted to mention. Okay, I just remembered the thing I want to mention to you guys. Now, if you have a technical issue over and over again, right, and that can have a bit of a consequence, right? So we will give you like 2 attempts to connect. So for example, say Vindula disconnects first time or has a technical issue first time, connects again, so the speech where they stopped. That happens again, second strike. And then they reconnects and continues. And it happens the third time. Now, when it happens in the third time, we may have to ask you to step down from the contest, right? So this is a rule that we have. This is not a disqualification, right? So please know that this is not a disqualification. But if you continue to have technical issues over and over again, we may ask you to step down from the contest. Okay, so this is a unfortunate consequence of doing online contests, but yeah, this is something that you should be aware of. So please make sure that on the day, make sure that all of your devices are charged, that you have a good connection, that you have topped up your Wi-Fi, you have hotspot ready, your phone is charged, get a good dialogue package if you use dialogue. What else? Oh yeah, check the Ceylon Electricity Board website if you have power cuts scheduled for that day. I'm very serious about that. So on the day, you can actually go to the CEB website and you can check if they're scheduled power cuts. So you can do all of those things. Just take maximum precautions to handle technical issues like that, so that on the day you can run a smooth contest. Okay. But worst case is that we will have to ask you to step down. All right.
What if it is raining?
So if it's raining, Vindula, we have to see how that affects you, right? So if you have technical issues over and over again, then you will have to step down. Like there's no other option. There's this other thing that some contests in Gavel does, where say for example you're the first contestant, and you will be shifted to the last slot. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't do that for Toastmasters contests. It's done for Gavel, but we do not do it for Toastmasters contests, because see, the thing is, the contestant order is a very crucial thing, especially in evaluations, right? So, and say for example, now you continue to have your technical issues over and over again, but you speak for about 4 minutes, right? But then you join back again at the end and you speak for another full 7 minutes. Your impression upon the judges is substantially more than the other contestants, which will give you a certain unfair advantage, right? So that's why we don't practice that in Toastmasters contests. We do it for Gavel because it's all about for them to, learn and improve. But in Toastmasters contests, where you do go up the ladder and you do get that spotlight and those reward, we do take it a bit more seriously. Okay. So hope I answered your question, and I hope I didn't cause more questions. So yeah, any questions though, please.
One last question, Vinay.
Go for it, sir. Yeah.
Now you said for evaluations, others will be put into a breakout room. So say if I'm the first evaluator and I finish my evaluation and the second person comes, can I watch that second person evaluate?
You can. That's a very good question. So contestants, you can watch the contestants that speak after you. Okay. But during that time, please don't, WhatsApp or anything of the other contestants who are still in the waiting room. Don't share a Facebook story of the contestant, second contestant speaking, right? Don't just keep your phone aside until it's done. We have only 4 contestants, so it will be done in a flash. So yeah, and stay in the meeting room and stay visible. Keep your video on, right? So for example, in physical contests, we don't let the contestant that spoke to leave the room, right? If they're leaving the room, they have to actually leave the building. They can't come back to the contest until the contest is done, right? So in online, how we replicate that is, you can stay in the contest, listen to the contestants, but do not communicate with them, and do not suddenly go away and come back going to that. If you have a disconnection, that's understandable. Again, let us know on the WhatsApp group, contestant WhatsApp group, that we are disconnection. I'll ask Ranta to make sure that you join back in and stay in the meeting room. Okay, so that's how it will be done. Solution on that. Great question. Anything else? Yeah, go ahead with it.
When it comes to the evaluation session, speech contest, we have 4 contestants now. So imagine just I'm the 4th contestant, and I will be given 5 minutes to make my notes, and then I will be added into the breakout room. And in the breakout room, is it prohibited to use my notes, make my notes?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So just to clarify one thing, everyone gets like 5 minutes together, right? And then after that, the first contestant will stay and the other 4 will go to the breakout room, right?
Yes.
So when you return to do your speech, you don't get another 5 minutes or anything like that. Okay. Just
in the breakout room, I will be getting more time. No? That's what
exactly. So that's that. No, I just want to clarify one other thing, because the way you said it, I was wondering whether you thought that, okay, before you speak, also you get 5 minutes. No. Okay. So when you're in the breakout room, you can't use your notes. You can't even look at them. You can't use your phone or anything like that, right? Just, nothing. Because even in physical contests, what we do is we take the contestants to another room, okay, outside the main room. Literally, physically, we take them out to another room. And as you go out, we take your sheet, we take your notes sheet. When you come back, we give it to you, and you can go and speak. That's how we do it in physical. So in online, how we replicate it is, you can't look, write anything, even on a new sheet. Okay, so yeah. So the time that you're in the breakout room is complete stasis. You have to stay as you are. You can of course you do your own thinking in your mind. That's a different thing, but you can't use your notes or anything like that. I know this is a bit of a Spartan way of doing contests, but it's how we have to do it. Sorry, yeah, Vindula, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Will you be able to stop us seeing the screen? We can see the screen. So
yeah, correct. You're very true. You can scan you can take a picture of your thing, put it on the screen. Completely true. But here's the thing: in Toastmasters, we are taught that we should trust other people's integrity. So I'm going to trust your integrity on this.
Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah, this is actually a question that is raised. We took it up to even district to Toastmasters international level, and that is literally the response they gave. Another instance was, so for example, the timers know your timings, the tally counters know who the judges are, right? And their phone numbers, because they WhatsApp the ballots to the tally counters. No, the question is, what if the telecounters tell the contestant, look, this person is a judge, right? And then what Toastmaster says, we have to trust in other people's integrity, because that is the practice of respect that we have. So I'm sure all of you know the 4 values in Toastmasters, right? Respect, integrity, excellence, service. So trust in another person's integrity is called respect. Is the answer I can give you. A very optimistic one, but it's what we got. So yeah, any other questions?
I have a couple of questions.
Sure,
one question is like, before the contest, as you said, we'll be given an opportunity to check our mics and camera.
Correct,
if
yes.
we find out like there is a connectivity issue there, then won't the number be pushed, or still we'll have to go ahead?
Sanoj, number pushing won't be happening at all. That's not an option. Okay, just making clear, we won't shift you to the end point. That won't happen. So the reason why we do a check before the contest is for that purpose. Sorry. Yeah. So the reason why we do a check is for that purpose. So on the day, join at 8 o'clock and do a video audio check with Rantaru, and so that we can make sure that happens. That doesn't happen. If we have a technical issue during that check, then we will help you to solve that out. And the only time we will bring in these measures to help you reconnect and all is during the contest only. But there won't be any shifting of numbers. So yeah. What's the other question, Sanoj? You had another question, I believe.
Yes, like if in the humorous ballot, judges ballot, I mean, there used to be a place where like the audience response, I mean, audience laughter, their connection and all. But now audience will be on mute. So how will that impact?
So this is the reason why we are not even considering going district this time. Okay, so here's the thing. How would you overcome that? There is no options, Anuj. You can't figure out what the audience is reacting, right? You can of course ask a few friends to keep your video on, but then how can you trust their reaction to be honest, because they are your friends, right? The only way that you can manage that is by practicing the speech in front of our audience at home, or do a few practices in front of some friends, maybe go to another club meeting and do it and see what their response is through. So those are the things you could do, but there's no other way. Like for example, judges ourselves, how do we judge audience response? We check our own response. How often do we laugh, right? How often do we respond to their speech? How much? So for example, another criteria in that ballot is interest, right? How do we judge interest without seeing the audience? Well, we judge it by our own interest. So that's simply it. So this is the downside of online contests, and no other option. So yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Some good questions. Good day today. Okay. Anything else, Rochelle? I see that you're close to the. Okay. All right. So if any other questions, Virginie is the only silent character today. No questions at all. Letting everyone else do the work for her.
During the one contest speech, any connection losses, and he will be unable to connect. So that will give him a chance to continue, or what will happen at that particular moment.
Like I said, Rantaru, so if a contestant disconnects or has a technical issue, I'll pause the contest, which will mean that everything stops, timing pauses, contestant must pause the speech, and after the contestant can start again once the technical issue is managed, and they must start from where they stopped. Timing will also start from where it stopped, and it will continue. That's the process. Okay. But like I said, moment contestants, you have a disconnection, drop a message on the WhatsApp group so that we know. So at any given time on my screen, I'll have Zoom on one side, WhatsApp on the other side, the participant list of the Zoom meeting open as well with the judges displayed. So I know that if judge disconnects, I know that. So I'll monitor everything, but support us as well by letting us know immediately. Okay.
Okay.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
How much time will be given to a speaker if he drops out to get in again? How much time will you wait?
Maybe maximum 1 to 2 minutes. We won't take too much because see, end of the day, as soon as possible is the prerogative, right? But sometimes it can take a bit longer also, but that we have to bear. So, but usually we try to get it sorted within 1 to 2 minutes. Okay.
If speaker won't able to get in, he will be.
Then there's a removal there as well. Correct. Because see, then there is no question of opportunities to reconnect. It's just you can't reconnect at that point, right? So yeah, this is the situation. Any other questions?
Look, for the one last time, I have a couple of questions.
Sure. Please go ahead.
All right. So, say now, you said when the speaker faces too many connectivity issues that he or she will have to step down.
Yeah.
So, say with the test speaker, in that case, what happens?
No, the test speaker won't step down. They will have to reconnect and do the speech.
Again.
But if the test speaker does have severe issues, right? If there is absolutely no way that the test speaker can do a speech and finish it off, then what we have to do is ask the contest chair Antar to do a speech. Okay. I'm joking. No, what happens then is then we will have to have the contest again separately and take it from there. Then there's no option because see a test speaker is there after preparing and being ready for it, right? So that situation we'll have to have the contest again at another time or another date. That's what we can do. Unless of course you want Rantaru to do it, then Rantaru can do a speech. Up to you. So yeah, any other questions? You said a couple of questions. Yeah.
Yes. So when it comes to evaluation, will we be told the timing taken by the test speaker, as in?
No, that won't happen. No. Timings for everything will be confidential. And anyway, timing. Here's the thing. So okay, you won't be told the exact timing of the speaker. We can't do that. But you will see the timing slides. No selection. For example, if you notice that the contestant, the test speaker doesn't even speak up till the yellow card and stops at the green card, right? You know that the contestant has some more time, right? So then you can give a recommendation on that, right? So for example, say that Virginie is the test speaker and Virginie speaks only up to the green card. So then you know, okay, Virginie spoke between 5 to 6 minutes only, right? In your recommendations, you can, so Virginie, I think you had a bit more time and perhaps you could have, added a bit more vocal variety, some more stories, some characterization. Like that, you can give recommendations. We can't tell you the exact timing, but you can use a judgment to give a recommendation on that, right? There's nothing holding you back on that. Okay.
All right. Will there be instances where the speaker will be muted after a certain period?
No, nothing like that. For no speaker, that's not the case. If you go over time, you can go over time. We will allow it. You can continue speaking. Well, that said, don't speak for like 30 minutes. But yeah, so we won't stop. We won't give any sign or symbol or anything to say that, look, you have to stop now. That's not how it's done. So yeah. So even for the test speaker, same thing. The speaker can go maybe 8 minutes here. It's up to you if you want to comment on that, right? So for example, you can say, I felt that you were in the red card a bit too long. Maybe we can adjust your speech by having 2 stories rather than 3. So it's up to you whether you want to make that call, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. If there's no other questions, any other questions? Nothing?
Seems no questions from the contestant.
Right. Okay then. So
then shall we do the?
Yeah, go ahead, Rantar. We can draw the contestant order. Rantar is small thing. So it's actually 9 o'clock. So I have to head for an installation right now. So yeah, could you just do the contestant order, right?
Okay, I'll do
the yeah. Put it on the contestant WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Okay.
So even for Buddhika, you can do it and we can inform him this is your slot now. That's fine. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dinok.
All right. My pleasure. All right. If there's any questions, contestants, drop a message on the WhatsApp group. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Dinok.
So,
Thank you, Dinok.
Anytime.
Thank you, Dinok.
All right. See you. Good night.
Good night. Okay, now it's my time. So I'll share the screen and I'll draw the numbers random orders. So what do you prefer? The first number is number 1, or the name present at first is the last person in the speaking?
Didn't quite get you, Rantaru.
So here, let me share the screen. Can you see this? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So first the slots will be called for the humorous speech contest. Right?
Yes, this is for the humorous speech contest. Rochelle, Sanoj, Vindula, Buddhika and Virginie is there. Buddhika is not available at the moment due to the connection issue, but he told he will participate, and I'll send this video link to him for his references. So anyway, without him, we can continue that numbering orders.
Okay, interesting.
What should we do? Yeah.
So
let's the first speaker first spin, right?
Okay. The person who is select first will be the first speaker. Okay. Right. So I'll click on this. See who will be the first person.
God.
Nuleng Vindula, Nuleng.
It's Buddhika. Number 1.
You're going to surprise him, Rantaru.
Then again, I'll click here.
We can see the luck of us.
Oh, Virginie. I think Vindula, you're having good luck today.
Yeah.
You missed both of it.
Yeah, they do not participate in what?
Hold on, yeah, Virgin is not in, Virgin is not in evaluation. Sorry.
Yes.
No, Virgin is with the speech.
Yes, no, I mixed it up. Maybe Vindula gihila monada kiwane.
I mean that the contestants are okay, no? That people who win the
yes.
Next one will come to Vindula.
No.
Anuj. Yes, Vindula.
Not always lucky.
Oh, only Rosario and Sanush. Let's see.
Oh God.
Guy, girl. Now it's a girl. Rochelle. No.
No. I'm the fifth speaker.
I prefer to complete it soon because I can enjoy other speeches.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Now I'll be on pins.
You can get scared, huh? After speeches.
No, I don't think I can listen. I will not listen. I will only practice at that time. Okay, that is that.
So now the humorous speech contest order is number 1, Buddhika.
Evaluation.
Yeah, this is speech evaluation. For the humorous speech contest, the order is number 1, Buddhika. Speaker number 2, Virginie. Number 3 is Vindula. Number 4 is Sanoj. Number 5 is Rochelle. Agreed, no?
Yes.
Agreed.
Now we will go for the evaluation contest. The contestants are Rochelle, Sanoj, Vindula, Sulochana. Right.
Oh dear.
Sanoj.
Sanoj is not the last speaker, no? In the previous one.
So fourth
No,
speaker.
one before.
Oh.
Vindula.
Why?
Not bad, Vindal. Anyway, we won't get to see each other, so it's okay.
Yeah. But I wish I can have more time to think.
Two ladies. Let's see. Sulochana.
Lots of time. That's unfair.
Rochelle last on both.
Both Rochelle is
very good luck, huh?
Today. That is today.
So who will win this one?
Muhammad, 100%.
Yes.
So the evaluation contestants are contestant number 1, Sanoj, number 2, Vindula, number 3, Sulochana, number 4, Rochelle. Agreed, no? Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's all for today's
Rantaru,
briefing.
we need to decide on a time to log on Sunday morning so that we can test audio and video. If you all want, you all can also arrange to check it tomorrow if you all are not so sure, but or else it can be on Sunday morning. We start at 9, right?
Yeah, we started 9. I'm planning tomorrow, so we will have a session by 7 p.m. onwards. We will do a trial session.
Okay. But I don't think you can test the lighting and all because the contest is in the morning. No?
Yeah.
In the night, if you test it, if you're going to test video, because it's night tomorrow and on Sunday morning, there might be a contrast. Yeah, proceeding. I mean, the normal way you do it, you can test it, but not the video. The video will have to check have to be checked in the morning itself.
So shall we log in 1 hour before the contest or 1.5 hours? What's the feasible time? I mean, 8 a.m. or 7:30? 8.
Yeah, 8 or 7:45, just in case, because if somebody has something, they can get it sorted.
Right. Okay.
Buddhika also has to be informed, Rantaru, about this connection and the video.
Okay, then I'll send a message on WhatsApp on Sunday 8. We will log on and do the test, check in on the videos and things.
Guys,
by
I need to know how to. Yes, Sanuj, go ahead.
Sorry, like tomorrow from 7 to 9, I'm having another meeting.
No, Sanuj, on Sunday morning.
Okay, so tomorrow we are not having practices, right?
Because in the but Rantaru, do you want to practice how it's done?
I think it's better contestant also able to join with the practice session. because we run through the whole script of the program, so that at least one contestant is available, so that we can have an idea how it goes. Is it okay, Rochelle?
Yeah, it's okay. The others, I think I also have something, but I'll try to join in between. This is at 7, is it?
Yeah, 7.
Okay.
7 in the evening.
Even
Yes.
7 p.m. So will we have a time please send that your what is that name, that the forms, 2
Contestant
forms,
profile
eligibility form, no?
and the yeah.
Please forward that one, and on that day, after all the speeches are completed, we will have a interview session as well, so that that will be helpful us to use that format to ask some random questions from you on the interview session.
Yeah.
Anything else, Rochelle, to say?
Guys, a few things. I think Sanoj, I think some of you guys have completed before, some of you all haven't, but don't be scared. The only thing is you have to make sure your audio and video is very clear. So if there's a signal issue of where you are at now, try to find a spot in your house where you have like a higher signal strength if you have to move. And number 2, your background has to be clear, ideally white, but if it's a clear background, it will do good. And in terms of attire, I think you all already know how it's done. It's formal attire for the gents and both the ladies. And yeah, like formal as in your, even for the ladies, like properly combed hair, and all of us needs to look clean and presentable. And in terms of the video, make sure when you fix the video, there's proper light into your face. And if you're using headphones, I don't know how you can do it with headphones, but ideally I think it's better to not do it with headphones, because then you'll have to keep thinking of this. You're restricted for movement. So try and sort your devices out. Have an extra, if the Wi-Fi goes off, have your mobile data on to make the shift in less than 1 minute. So those things, I think probably you could sort it out tomorrow, even in the morning. I mean, you could just check, keeping the laptop in a place and where you stand. And if you need lighting, use lighting also. Make sure that you're very visible. Those are the things that I've got to add. Yeah.
Okay, Rochelle, then from you others, you need to have any clarification needed?
Toastmaster Andaru, like I am planning to use one of my old speech that I have done ages before. I hope that won't be a problem neither. Like I've not done it I've not won anything with this.
So you have to refer from that. It is the old Sanoj did the speech. You have to refer that, ne?
I'll clarify with the CJ.
No, I think it will be not issue, ne? It's a old speech with your own script, no? So no references from others. So I think it will be not a problem.
Sorry guys, my connection went off.
At that time, he might have any reference. He won't remember now.
I don't know. Other contestants have put objection on that, Sanoj.
Yeah, we are going to object. Neither Roshan.
What did Sanoj say? I missed out on it.
He's saying that he's going to use one of his old speeches for the contest.
That is quite all right. That's what most of them do, actually.
Oh, that is
no. So Behema must be one of his best speeches, so that's why he's bringing it on.
Oh, man, didn't have time to prepare a new one, ma'am.
The thing is, I think we will have to humor ourselves and do the speech. Now you can't see our audience also, so you'll have to humor yourself, thinking, people are laughing at my jokes and doing it. cool.
Maybe we could get people to send emojis or something, show emojis of them laughing at least.
But we won't be able
But
to
at
see.
that moment, Sulochana, at that moment, you're not thinking anything else. You can see the time ticking in one corner, and you are trying to get your words straight. And that moment, you won't think of, I mean, you will give the full effect to do humor. But then all of this wouldn't matter at that moment. I think you'll enjoy it as you do it. It's a bit tense, but you'll enjoy it, I suppose. Then kisima deyak matak wenne.
I think others can't do the emojis, no? That the laughing marks and
That's Rantaro. Do we have anything else apart from sending a document?
things.
Rantaro was telling something. What did he say?
No, I asked that the contestant, the other audience can't put any emojis, no? Is
No,
it
no, chat box can't be used.
it will be disabled, ne? Chat box.
Yeah, sometimes disabled, and even the contest master will, I think either you or Udara will tell in the rules to hold your applause, not to applaud, to not refrain from using the chat box and all.
Okay, okay. I'll check the script and whether it is available or not, and put on that.
Yes, check with Dinok also, Rantaro.
Okay, okay. So I think that shall we wind up then that all the things clarified. So anything else, Rochelle, you need to think, or others can speak out?
The one more thing, my background is this one. This will be okay, right?
Yeah, that is all right.
Yeah, it is okay. Try to.
මම විදුල කතා කරද්දිත් මම හිතුවා මෙයාගේ background එක මේක තමයි කියලා. So this is good. This is very formal and all.
Yeah, I covered all the stains in the walls by using these curtains. There's a wall behind this. There are some drawings of one of my cousins.
Right.
I covered it.
Okay, then contestants, all the very best. Try to join tomorrow as well to have a test run. If not, we'll join on the Sunday at 8 a.m. Then,
okay, bye.
All the best, everyone.
All the best. All the best.
Good luck, guys. Good luck. Take care. Good night.
Take care.
Good night.